Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca Gardner, and welcome back to another episode of Read Along With Me. So today we're going to be reading 6 chapters. In the last episode we read 4 chapters. And basically what we read is from last episode is that so Mr. Neck tries to get a debate going, and then he ends the debate because it's not going his way, and then David Petrakis stood up to him and spoke his mind like a freaking citizen he is. And then, Thanksgiving comes around, and her parents are prepping the Thanksgiving dinner, but it didn't work out very well. And then Melinda brings her wishbones to her art class, and then she created a piece of art that said something to her art teacher. And then she talks about biology and slicing apples and how she bit into the apple, and David got really freaked out about it. But in today's episode, we're gonna read what we're gonna be reading is the parts where Melinda talks about David Petrakis and so on. We'll go more into depth at the end of the episode. I do not want to give anything away, so let's get reading. Rebellion is in the air. We only have a week left before winter break. Students are getting away with with murder, and the staff is too worn out to care. I hear rumors of eggnog in the faculty lounge. This revolutionary spirit is even breaking out in social studies class. David Petrakis is fighting back about the freedom to speak thing. I get to class on time. I don't dare use a stolen late pass with Mr. Neck. David takes a seat in the front row and sets a tape recorder on his desk. As Mr. Neck opens his mouth to speak, David presses play and record buttons at the same time, like the pianist hitting an opening chord. Mr. Neck teaches the class straight. We are galloping toward the Revolutionary War. He writes no taxation without representation on the board. Very cool rhyming slogan. Too bad they didn't have bumper stickers back then. The colonists wanted a voice in the British Parliament. No one in power would listen to their complaints. The lecture is going to sound great on the tape. Mr. Neck has prepared notes and everything. His voice is as smooth as a poured road. No bumps. My nose are runny. Sorry. The tape will not be able to pick up the angry gleam in Mr. Neck's eyes, though. He glares at David the whole time while he was speaking. If a teacher stared murder at me for 48 minutes, I'd turn into a puddle of melted jello. David stares back. The school office is the best place to go for gossip. I overhear the soundbite about the Petrakis' lawyer while I wait for another lecture from my guidance counselor about not living up to my potential. How does she know about How does she know what my potential is? Potential for what? When she talks blah blah, I usually count the dots in her ceiling tiles. The guidance counselor is late today, so I sit invisible in the red plastic chair while the secretary brings a PTA volunteer up to warp speed on the Petrakis thing. David's parents have hired a big, nasty, expensive lawyer. He is threatening to sue the school district and Mr. Neck for everything from incompetence to civil rights violations. David's tape recorder is allowed in class to document potential future violations. The secretary doesn't sound too upset at the idea that Mr. Neck could get canned. I bet she knows him personally. David must have mentioned the hairy eyeball treatment to his lawyer that afternoon because the next day there's a video camera set up in the back of the class. David Petrakis is my hero. I let Heather talk me into going to the winter assembly. She hates sitting alone almost as much as I do. The Marthas have not issued an imperial invitation for her to sit with them. She's bummed, but she tries to not show it. In perfect Martha style, she wears a green sweater with a huge Santa face on it, red leggings, and fluffy boots. Too perfect. I refuse to wear anything seasonal. Heather gives me my Christmas present early. Bell earrings. That chime when I turn my head. This means I'll have to get her something. Maybe I'll go wholesome and buy a friendship necklace. She's the friendship necklace type. The bells are a great choice. I shake my head all through Principal's speech to drown out his voice. The orchestra plays an unrecognizable tune. Heather says the school board won't let them perform Christmas carols or Hanukkah songs or Kwanzaa tunes. Instead of multicultural, we have no cultural. The high point of the assembly is the announcement of our new name and mascot. Principal reads the vote total. Bees 3, Icebergs 17, Hilltoppers 1, Wombats 32. The other 1,547 votes were write-ins or illegible. The Merryweather Wombats has a nice ring. We are the Wombats, woozy wicked Wombats, worried withdrawn weepy weird Wombats. We pass Raven cheerleader and Amber cheerleader on the way to my bus. They wrinkle their eyebrows as they struggle to rhyme. Wombat. Democracy is a wonderful institution. School is out and there are 2 days until Christmas. Mom left a note saying I can put up the tree if I want. I drag the tree out of the basement and stand it in the driveway so I can sweep the dust and cobwebs off it with the broom. We leave the lights on it from year to year. All I have to do is hang the ornaments. There is something about Christmas that requires a rugrat. Little kids make Christmas fun. I wonder if we could rent one for the holidays. When I was tiny, we would buy a real tree and stay up late drinking hot chocolate and finding just the right place for the special decorations. It seems like my parents gave up the magic when I figured out the Santa lie. Maybe I shouldn't have told them I knew where the presents really came from. It broke their hearts. I bet they'd be divorced by now if I hadn't been born. I'm sure I was a big disappointment. I'm not pretty or smart or athletic. I'm just like them, an ordinary drone dressed in secrets and lies. I can't believe we have to keep play acting until I graduate. It's a shame we can't just admit that we have failed at family living, sell the house, split up the money, and get on with our lives. Merry Christmas. I call Heather, but she's shopping. What would Heather do if she were here in the house didn't feel like Christmas? I pretend to be Heather. I bundle up in geeky snow clothes, wrap a scarf up around my head, and plunge into a snowdrift. Sorry, guys. The backyard is gorgeous. The trees and bushes are all wrapped in ice, reflecting sunlight into something powerful. I just have to make a snow angel. I tromp to an unmarked piece of snow and let myself fall backward. The scarf falls over my mouth and I have wings. The wet wool smells like first grade. Walking to school on a cold morning with my milk money jingling on the tips of my mittens. We lived in a different house then, a smaller house. Mom worked at the jewelry counter and was home after school. Dad had a nicer boss and talked all the time about buying a coat. I believed in Santa Claus. The wind stirs the branches overhead. My heart clangs like a fire bell. The scarf is too tight on my mouth. I pull it off to breathe. The moisture on my skin freezes. I want to make a wish, but I don't know what to wish for. And I have snow up my back. I break off branches from the holy bushes and a few sprigs of pine and carry them inside. I tie them together to red yarn and set them on the fireplace mantel and the dining room table. It doesn't look as nice as when the lady on the TV did it, but it makes the place smell better. I still wish we could borrow a kid for a few days. We sleep in till noon on Christmas. I give Mom a black sweater and Dad a CD with 60s hits. They gave me a handful of gift certificates, a TV for my room, ice skates, and a sketch pad with charcoal pencils. They say they have noticed me drawing. I almost tell them right then and there. Tears flood my eyes. They notice I've been trying to draw. They noticed. I tried to swallow the snowball in my throat. This isn't going to be easy. I'm sure they suspect I was at the party. Maybe they even heard about me calling the cops. But I want to tell them everything as we sit there by our plastic Christmas tree while the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer video plays. I wipe my eyes. They wait with unsure smiles. The snowball grows larger. Then I snuck home that night. They weren't in the house. Both cars were gone. I was supposed to have been at Rachel's all night long. They weren't expecting me, that's for sure. I showered until the hot water was gone. Then I crawled in bed and did not sleep. Mom pulled in around 2 a.m., Dad just before sunup. They had not been together. What had they been doing? I knew. How can I talk to them about that night? How can I start? Rudolph sits out on his ice floe. I'm independent, he declares. Dad looks at his watch. Mom stuffs the wrapping paper into a garbage bag. They leave the room. I'm still sitting on the floor, holding the paper and charcoals. I didn't even say thank you. I had 2 days of freedom before my parents decided I wasn't going to lounge around the house all vacation. I have to go to work with them. I'm not legally old enough to work, but they don't care. I spend the weekend at Mom's store, dealing with the merchandise bought back by grumpy people. Did anyone in Syracuse get what they wanted for Christmas? Sure doesn't seem like it. Since I'm underage, Mom sticks me in the basement stockroom. I'm supposed to refold the shirts, sticking them in 11 pins. The other employees watch me like I'm a rat, like my mother has sent me to the basement to spy on them. I fold a few shirts, then kick back and take out a book. They relax. I am one of them. I don't want to be there either. Mom obviously knows I did squat, but she doesn't say anything in the car. We don't leave until way after dark because she has so much work to do. Sales have sucked. She didn't get anywhere near the goal she set. Layoffs are coming. We stop at a traffic light. Mom closes her eyes. Her skin is a flat gray color, like underwear washed so many times it's about to fall apart. I feel bad that I didn't fold more shirts for her. Sorry, I feel like I was about to burp. The next day, they send me to Dad's. He sells some kind of insurance, but I don't know how or why. She sets up a card table for me in his office. My job is to put calendars into envelopes and seal them. Envelopes, seal them up, and stick on mailing labels. He sits at his desk and talks to buddies on the phone. He gets to work with his feet up. He gets to laugh with his friends on the phone. He gets to call out for lunch. I think he deserves to be in the basement folding shirts and helping my mother. I deserve to be watching cable or taking a nap or even going to Heather's house. By lunchtime, my stomach boils with anger. Dad's secretary says something nice to me. When she drops off my lunch, I don't... Dad's secretary says something nice to me when she drops off my lunch, but I don't answer her. I glare daggers at the back of my father's head. Angry, angry, angry. I have another 1,000,000 envelopes to close. I run my tongue over the gross, slimy envelope flap. The sharp edge of the flap cuts my tongue. I taste my blood. Its face suddenly pops up in my mind. All the anger whistles out of me like I'm a popped balloon. Dad is really pissed when he sees how many calendars I bled on. He mentions a need for professional help. I am actually grateful to go back to school. Now that there are 2 feet of snow on the ground, the phys ed teachers let us have class inside. They keep the gym at about 40 degrees because a little cool air never hurt anyone. Easy for them to say. They wear sweatpants. The first inside sport is basketball. Miss Connors teaches us how to throw foul shots. I set up the line, bounce the ball twice, and put it through the net. Miss Connors tells me to do it again and again. She keeps bouncing balls my way and keep putting them up. Swish, swish, swish. 42 shots later, my arms wobble and I miss one. By that time, the entire class has gathered around and is watching. Nicole is just about bursting. "You have joined the team," she shouts. "Meet me back here during activity period. You are going places with that arm." It's a sad and downtrodden Miss Connors who meets me 3 hours later. She holds my current grades by 2 fingers. D, C, B minus, D, C minus, C, A. No basketball team for me because the A was in art. So my GPA is a whopping 1.7. Miss Connors did not win a lacrosse scholarship by being demure or hesitant. She times me in wins sprints, then puts me back on the line to shot. Try an outside shot, blanket off the board. You have you thought about a Tudor nice shot? It's those D's that are killing you. Try a layup that needs work. I could maybe do something about the social studies grade, but your English teacher is impossible. She hates sports. And do you have a hook shot? I just do what I'm told. And if I felt like talking, I would explain that she couldn't pay me enough to play on her basketball team. All that running, sweating, getting knocked around by genetic mutants? I don't think so. Now, if basketball had a designated foul shot shooter, maybe I'd consider. The other team fouls you, you get to pay them back. Boom. That's not the way it works. It's basketball or in life. But that's not the way it works in basketball or in life. Miss Connors looks so eager. I like the sensation of succeeding brilliantly at something, even if it's just dunking in foul shots one after another. I'll let her dream a few more minutes. The boys' varsity team dribbles in. The record is 0-5. Go Wombats. Basketball pull, aka Brandon Keller, the one who contributed to my mashed potato and gravy humiliation on the first day of school, stands under the basket. The other guys run drills and pass into him. Brandon reaches up a skinny octopus tentacle and casually drops the ball through the hoop. Our boys are unbeatable as long as they are the only team on the floor. The boys coach barks something I don't understand, and the team lines up behind basketball pole for free throw practice. He dribbles, bounce 2-3. He dribbles, bounce 2-3. He shoots, brick, bounce 2-3, brick, brick, brick. Can't sink a shot from the line to save his skinny neck. Miss Connors talks to the boys' coach while I watch the rest of the team hit a sorry 30%. Then she blows her whistle and waves me over. The boys clear out of the way, and I take my place on the line. Show him, commands Miss Connors. Trained to seal me. Bounce, bounce, up, swish, again and again and again, until the boys stop bouncing and everyone is watching. Miss Connors and basketball coach talk serious, frown, talk arms on hips, biceps reflection, biceps flexing. The boys stare at me. Visitor from the planet foul shot. Who is this girl? Miss Connors punches Coach in the arm. Coach punches Miss Connors in the arm. They offer me a deal. If I volunteer to teach the basketball pool how to swish a foul shot, I will get an automatic A in gym. I shrug my shoulders and they grin. I couldn't say no. I couldn't say anything. I just won't show up. Our art room is blooming like a museum full of O'Keeffe's, Van Goghs, and that French guy who painted flowers with tiny dots. Mr. Freeman is a vogue teacher of the moment. There are rumors that he'll be the teacher of the year in the yearbook. His room is cool central. He keeps the radio on. We are allowed to eat as long as we work. He bounced a couple of slackers who confused freedom with no rules. So the rest of us don't make waves. It is too much fun to give up. The room is full of painters, sculptors, and sketchers during activity period, and some kids stay there until the late buses are ready to roll. Mr. Freeman's painting is coming along great. Some newspaper guy heard about it and wrote an article. The article claimed Mr. Freeman is a gifted genius who has devoted his life to education. A color picture of the work in progress accompanied the article. Someone said a few school board members recognized themselves. I bet they sue him. I wish Mr. Freeman would put a tree in his masterpiece. I can't figure out how to make mine look real. I have already ruined 6 linoleum blocks. I can see it in my head. A strong old oak tree with a wide scarred trunk and thousands of leaves reaching to the sun. There's a tree in front of my house just like it. I can feel the wind blow and hear the mockingbird whistling on the way back to her nest. But when I try to carve it, it looks like a dead tree. Toothpicks. A child's drawing. I can't bring it to life. I'd love to give up, quit, but I can't think of anything else to do. So I keep chipping away at it. Principal stormed in yesterday, smelling pleasure. His mustache moved up and down, a radar sweep for all things unruly. An unseen hand turned off the radio as he crossed the threshold and bags of potato chips vanished, leaving the faint scent of salt to mix with vermilion oil paint and wet clay. He scanned the room for merriment. Found only bowed heads, graceful pencils, dipping brushes. Mr. Freeman touched up the dark roots on the head of the lady school board member and asked if Principal needed help. Principal stalked out of the room in the direction of the human waste smoking haven. Maybe I'll be an artist if I grow up. Yeah, so basically Melinda talks a little bit more about David Petrakis and how he documents everything that Mr. Nick was saying to his lawyer and his parents. And she also talks about how he was her hero. And then her parents bought her like a sketchbook and some charcoal pencils because they noticed that she's been drawing. I think that's one of the best Christmas gifts that Melinda has gotten. I don't know, but she seemed pretty astonished slash shock at the same time. So, yeah, my question is, what is the best Christmas gift that you guys have been given? And I know it's not, Christmas time yet, but, you know, I feel like it's a perfect, discussion question. So let me know in the comments below, and guys, let's start the discussion. Like, comments like, great work, good content, keep it up, blah blah blah. That's not really starting the discussion. I mean, I appreciate that, but come on guys. I really want to get this discussion going. That's why I created this series, so that I can interact with you guys and we can discuss about the book. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you do, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you guys will be getting new episodes. I post new episodes will be coming out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And don't worry, I will still be doing covers every Monday. But this is my way of incorporating reading into my life. Well, yes, my life and my channel. So, because I want to show you guys how much I love to read, and I want to show you guys how much I really love this book. Because this book is honestly amazing. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and be safe out there, especially with the coronavirus happening in the world. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to stay happy, stay safe, and stay cool. And I am off to the moon, and I will be back soon.